Thank you for joining me again. I do appreciate you tuning in again. Thank you for those of you that reached out to me regarding the prayer. My desire and my aim is just to do what the Lord has for me to do. And thank you for letting me know that you enjoyed the prayer. The prayer blessed you. I appreciate you just giving me feedback because it does keep me encouraged. Today I want to talk about Joseph, and I'm going to try to make this video as short, but I do want to bring out the point that the title of this video is Better is Coming. And I was looking at Joseph and I was reading about Joseph and just his journey and his the process of which brought him into the king's palace. With Pharaoh, and we know that he was under Potiphar, but we know that lies and which ended him in prison, or in jail, however you want it, but he was put away. And I want to talk about how we're in a microwave age now. Everything is so quick. Everything is quick. Nobody wants to wait for anything. Everything has to be like Burger King. Everything has to be like Subway. Make my sandwich, hurry up, let's go. But when it comes to the things of God, there is a process. And there are things that you cannot rush. You're going to have patience. You're going to have to understand that God is yet in control, and it has to be something that you just not say, but you really have to believe it in your heart. I was thinking about how in a movie, how sometimes in a movie they will give you the ending and then they'll go back to the beginning. Have you ever been in a movie and they'll show you the end of the movie and then they'll say 10 years prior to, and then they'll go back? And this is how a lot of times God does us, right? He'll show us you're going to be great, or you're going to be a national evangelist, or you're going to be a pastor of a large church, or God is going to send you out to the masses. But he never tells you the process of what you have to go through to get to that point. And this is what Joseph went through, where he had dreams and he had to go through a process to get to that point. Joseph was, and I was just writing down just little notes and things about Joseph. And Joseph had to go through a process. Joseph was lied on. Joseph was left alone and rejected. He went through a lot of a hard process that he had to go through by himself, and all he had was his dream. All he had was the dreams that God gave him. And that's where a lot of us are now, today, right? All we have is our dream. All we have is what the Lord has told us. But we have no evidence, and we're going through all this obstacles and different things in our lives, and we're equating it to, the enemy wants to equate it to, oh, you must be out of the will of God. The devil is a lie. You're right in the right place at the right time. Joseph could have easily said, well, maybe the Lord didn't tell me this, or maybe the Lord, and he probably did. Maybe he did feel that, but it was not recorded, because God even blessed him in the prison. It's amazing how you can go through things and God will say, I'm going to promote you on your job, but all hell will break loose on your job, but God will yet anoint you even in the chaos. Even in the things that you're going through on your job, you will yet have favor. Even in the things that you're going through where people are saying things and lying on you and trying to make your life hard, but God is yet saying, I have favor on you. And God just takes you through that whole transition. And you know you're going through the rough things in life, but God is just making your way easy. That's the anointing of God, and that's the favor of God on our lives. And I just want to encourage you that even though you may be going through hard times, don't equate that to you're out of the will of God. Equate that to, I am in the right place at the right time. I'm doing what God told me to do, and the hardship represents God is taking you to something better. Amen. So let's get into this, the scripture. Ecclesiastes 7 and 8 in the King James Version, it says, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. You have to have patience. Everything is not going to happen just snap, snap, but you have to have patience. You got to settle yourself. You got to settle your spirit. You have to understand that God is yet in control, and no matter what happens, he got you. And I know a lot of times people say, God got you. He got your back. He got your front. But there are some things you really have to let it marinate and let it get into your spirit. This is not just cliches, but you really have to understand that I'm in the right place. This opposition that I'm facing, these things that I'm facing, that means that God is taking me to some place. That's an indication that God, the word that the Lord gave you or the dream that he gave you, that's an indication that it's going to happen. Amen. So let's go to Genesis 37 and 5. We're just going to talk about Joseph, just the life of Joseph, just briefly. Okay, because this process that Joseph had to go through was very painful. The process that Joseph had to go through was discouraging. But God yet let everything that he said, the dreams that he gave Joseph, it all came to pass. But there was a process. There was time. Amen. That God had to cultivate Joseph, and God had to do some things even in Joseph. Sometimes we think, oh, we're waiting on God. No, God is waiting on us. He's always doing something in us. There's something that we have to learn. Look at the things that you have already gone through and how God has brought you to this point. But if you never gone through that, you never could go through this. If I never gone through things in my past, there's no way I could deal with this that I face now. But God always works in purpose. He don't work aimlessly. He don't work without purpose. But everything in our lives is bringing us full circle. And I'm seeing some things in my life, people of God, that God is bringing me full circle. And I said, God, I thank you. I didn't understand it then. I didn't see it then, but I see it now. So Genesis 37. And it says Genesis 37, 4 and 5, it says, and when his brethren, King James Version, and when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peaceably unto him. And Joseph dreamed a dream and he told it to his brethren, and they hated him yet more. So now he going through, his family don't like him. So he's going through hatred. He's going through rejection. And let's skip down to verse 23. And it says, and it came to pass when Joseph was come unto his brethren that they stripped Joseph out of his coat, his coat of many colors that was on him. And they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty. There was no water in it. So now here he is facing, now he's hated. Now he's being cast into a pit by himself. That's rejection. That's discouragement. That's like, what is going on? You would not expect that from your family, but sometimes your hardest trial will come from those whom you love. Sometimes your hardest opposition will come from those who know you. Those that's part of your blood. That's hard to deal with, because you would not expect that from those that, it's like, you know me. But you will have your hardest hardship from those that are in your family, from those that are close to you. That's your hardest hardship will come from that very person or those very individuals. So here, let's go to chapter 39. So here he's cast into the pit. He's stripped. He's hated. So we go to chapter 39. And we're going to go to verse 12 through 18. And if y'all will just bear with me, I'm going to try to make this video short, but I really want to bring out some things. And now he is sold as a slave. Okay, he's sold as a slave. Then he's in Potiphar's house. He's given authority. And Joseph was very handsome. He was very attractive. And now Potiphar's wife got a thing for Joseph. Look at the devil. Now, she lied on him. So he's cast into the pit. He goes from the pit to the palace, back to the pit again. And that's how sometimes our life is. God will give you a dream. You'll go through some hardships. He'll bless you. And then it's like everything breaks loose and you lose it all. You're like, what? What is going on? And it's like you got to start back again from the bottom. But God is like, I'm yet with you in that. I'm yet with you in the pit. So here Joseph is lied on. Okay? So it says, chapter 39, the 12th verse, it says, and she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand and fled and got him out. And it came to pass when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand and was fled forth, that she called unto the men of her house and spake unto them, saying, see, he hath brought in a Hebrew unto us to mock us. He came in unto me to lie with me and cried with a loud voice. And it came to pass when he had heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled and got him out. And she laid up his garment by her until his Lord came home. See how the devil do? You could be minding your own business. Joseph was handling his own duties, obligations, responsibilities, and here come the devil. So now he's cast into the pit again. Prison, jail, lockup, chain gang. He down with the prisoners, okay? Over a lie. Over something that's not even true. So here it is. Now, he's like, what? And it's a hard thing to go through something when you're being accused falsely. It's one thing if it's, okay, I did it. Okay, I accept it. But it's another thing. It's on a whole nother level when you are being accused of something that you didn't even do. And you're saying, where is God in this? I didn't even deserve this. Where is God in this? I'm here to tell you that God is in the pit. I'm here to let you know that God has not forgotten about you. I'm here to let you know that God is going to bring you out. I'm here to let you know that better is yet coming to you. Hold on. So let's go to chapter 40. So we go to chapter 40. Okay, and I'm not dealing with, there's so much in here that I could go but it'd be too long. Okay, that's like a one-on-one Bible study. So let's go to chapter 40, verse 23. So here you have the baker and the butler. They're having dreams. Joseph had interpreted their dreams, right? And then both of them get released. One gets killed and one lives. And Joseph interprets both of their dreams. Now you would think that if you help somebody and you help them interpret a dream, you would think that they would be like, okay, I'm going to remember you. I'm going to get you out too. They forgot. It says the butler didn't even remember Joseph. It says in verse 23, it says, yet did not the chief butler remember Joseph, but forget him. Now Joseph is like, okay, now you forget me. Can you imagine the thoughts that went through Joseph's head? But I still believe that Joseph was like, okay, God is going to get me out. I don't know how. Just like we are now. Like some of you are now. I don't know how he going to do it, but he going to do it. I don't know how he gonna make the way, but he gonna make it. I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't know how my name is gonna get out there, but it's gonna get out there. I don't know, but God is gonna do it, right? So here we are. I was trying to figure out. Okay, so we're talking about Joseph was sold at age of 17, right? So he go through this whole transition, and it says, let's go to verse chapter 41 and 14. It says, then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon, and he shaved himself and changed his raiment and came in unto Pharaoh. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how many years are we talking about? What are we talking about? And after doing some research, okay, so we're talking about he was sold as a slave at the age of 17, and Joseph entered service for Pharaoh. From the commentary, it says 30 years old. So we're talking about, what, 13 years? Give or take, my math might be a little off. We're talking about years. Years. But even in, the beautiful thing about it is, he was just not being in the dungeon doing nothing, but he was yet being of a service to the Lord, using his gifts, interpreting dreams. So even in your time of going through, God is yet keep working for the Lord. Don't stay home. Don't get discouraged and cut people off. And I'm not going to pray for nobody. I'm not going to go to Bible study. I'm not going to stop. Don't stop singing in the choir. Don't stop being on the praise team. Don't stop. But keep doing what God has commissioned you to do, even when you're cast out, even when it seems like you're on the out, even when it seems like you're by yourself, even when you're going through things. Keep moving for the Lord. Joseph never stopped. Even in the dungeon, God gave him favor. Even in the dungeon. And I'm here to let y'all know that better is coming. Hold on. Keep going. Don't stop. Keep going. Don't let your hardship stop you. Don't let your hardship make you think that that's an indication that it's not God. It's God. He ain't done with y'all yet. He ain't done with me yet. I'm still pressing in. I'm still making videos. I'm still. New process of life for me, but I ain't stopping. Do I get discouraged sometimes? Yes. Sometimes it's hard to even make a video sometimes. Because I'm like, God, I'm making these videos. Now what? I'm just being very transparent. Now what? What is next? But God got a big plan for me. He got a big plan for you. Hold on. Keep going. Keep pressing in. Don't let people, obstacles separate you from what God has told you. You hold on. You keep going. Hold on to God. Press into God. Understand that better days are coming for you, for me. It's coming. Keep holding on. I don't care if it's been a long time and I've still been doing it. Keep going. Look at the life of Joseph. Examine his life. He was sold at 17 as a slave. He came back. He went in the palace, in the dungeon, back in the palace, and now 30 years old. Years had passed. Can you imagine? Joseph was like, God, are you with me? God, are you? Like we do. God, are you there? God, do you see how they're treating me? Do you see what I'm going through? Do you see my living situation? Do you see? But you got to go through the process. People of God, really quick, I know this video is long, but people of God, when my husband passed, I had to stay with my mother-in-law. That was very hard. That was very, 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 very hard. I went out of town. I came home. My husband's gone. I pack all my things up and I'm living with somebody. very hard, to the point of tears at times, to the point of like, God, really? God, do you see? Do you know? Do you see? And here I am now. I have peace. But I had to go through that process. Still dealing with things, but I'm in a whole much better. The whole situation is better. Thank God for my mother-in-law opened up her home, but the whole situation is better. So people of God, be encouraged. Better is coming. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Hold on to God. I don't care what. I don't care who's doing what. You hold on to God. Things are happening in this world that we're living in at a rapid pace. But you hold on to God. Hold on to what you know is true. Let this story of Joseph be encouraging to you. God is going to take you from the dungeon, from the pit, back into the palace. And people going to wonder, how did you get that? What happened? You must know somebody. You must be friends with this person. No, I'm a friend of God. And he knows my name. And that's all that matters. I love you with the love of the Lord. Remember, the joy of the Lord is your strength. God bless you.